All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to tonight's call. What's up, Rat Pack Dynasty? Thank you guys for getting on the call. We have so many people that are getting on this call right now. We've got about 65 or so plus people, and the numbers just keep rising. But anyways, I'm Marketing Director Skylar Schisler, and thanks for getting on the call tonight. We want to add some value. We've got Mr. DJ Barton that's in the house tonight. But before I get started, I would just want to share a little bit about my story. My wife and I saw this concept 4.5 years ago, and at the time I was a time broke business owner in the construction game. And my wife is the one who said yes to this concept, and here I am 4.5 years later hosting this webinar. It's absolutely impacted our lives and changed our lives. And, we've just had so much value add because of this business, and we all know why we're on here. We want to learn about the Fly Smart credit card. And I'm not going to be the one that does that tonight. I want to introduce you to a gentleman who created a group called Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem stands for Seize the Day, and that's exactly what he's doing with this company, is he's seizing the day. And I was really drawn to him because him and I have a lot of the same attributes when it comes to businesses. We're just raw, we're real, we're uncut. We don't leave anything on the table. And I love his style in leadership. I also love his style when he's talking about the business with all the passion that he has. But what really drew me to him was not just because he was a great talker, but he was getting good results personally. But the thing that stood out to me was his team was getting great results. And you can mark a leader not by what they do, but what they leave behind. And his team is absolutely crushing it right now. He was just on a cruise about a week ago, and he was able to cycle 7 times while he was on that trip. And for those of you that might be brand new and you don't know what that means, it means whether or not he made a phone call or not, which I know for a fact he was just enjoying his time with his family. He was able to make over $1,000 passively. And the reason why I tell you that is this is what this is all about, is to create that financial freedom and create something that creates money while you're gone. So, DJ, everything that he touches turns to gold. He is a pro network marketer. He's been with other companies. He's been personally mentored by Mark Aceta himself. And, he's a family man. And even though he is an aggressive business owner, he really cares about his friends and family and wants to see them succeed. So without further ado, Mr. DJ Barton, take it away, brother.
First and foremost, I want to thank you guys as the Rat Pack Dynasty, allowing and trusting in me to be on your call. It's an honor and a privilege to just share with you guys what we're doing. I know that Skylar and I jumped on a few minutes prior just to make sure it's okay with you guys that I just talked to you as if you're sponsored directly with me, and I'm talking to my leaders on my team. It's by no means intended to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just very direct with what we're doing, and I'm very passionate about this industry. Just like Skylar said, we've been in, just to give you a background, and then we'll get into it, but I've been in network marketing since I was 18. I'm 39 years old. Right out of high school, I had to make decisions like a lot of you, had to go to college or get a job. And, school was not my deal. I was a CD. Lucky, sometimes I got a B student. And obviously when you're a bad student, it's hard to get a good job. And so college was not for me. And so I moved from the Midwest down to Arizona so I didn't have to go to college, because I figured if I moved away, I'd have to work. And long story short, I saw my first exposure with network marketing when I was 18 in a product-based company. It was the same company Mr. Mark Aceta was a part of, and he did one of my first meetings and forever changed my life. And, he showed us obviously a way, which a lot of you know, how to create wealth and financial freedom and how to posture up and how to live life on your terms. And what's great about Mark is he's the same guy he was 20 years ago, just a heck of a lot more polished. And he was even extremely polished back then. So, he's one of the most amazing mentors, leader in our entire industry. He's never swayed from his belief system over the last 30 plus years in network marketing. And when you can find somebody with that much conviction and passion and, with his flag planted, if you will, in the industry, that's a big deal. And that's who's leading the charge of this thing. So I just bought into his lifestyle. I bought into his mindset. I bought into his zero doubt, total blind faith mentality, and just started running, guys. And we were really blessed. We did well with his company that he was a part of. We were his top money earner back then. And then we went different directions, and he went to another company, and I went to another company. And then I got out of the industry because I was burnt out a little bit, because when you're doing something for a long period of time, the company I was with actually went out of business. It just kind of set me back a little bit mentally and emotionally because I was all in on it. Long story short, I got back into the industry. I was in real estate. We did well with it, but I got back into network marketing about 6.5, 7 years ago. And, you can take the boy out of network marketing, but you can't take the network marketing out of the boy, if you will. Once you believe in something down to the core of your being, it's just a matter of getting, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear mindset. But what I want Skylar asked me to jump on the phone tonight to kind of just share some things that we're doing to, advance momentum, create duplication, how to enroll people and getting out of your comfort zone, but making it comfortable to enroll or close, however you want to term the phrase. And, whenever we do things, we always do something, at the beginning, but with the end in mind. And what I mean by that is this. First and foremost, I want you to understand where we are in network marketing, because a lot of you in the Rat Pack are extremely young, energetic, motivated, vibrant individuals. And you may not have seen a lot of network marketing companies in your lifetime. Because I know when I was 18 to 25, I didn't see a lot of network marketing. I was part of one company, and I was so focused, I had my blinders on, I didn't look elsewhere. And here's what I can tell you, just to give you an idea. And the reason why I want to start this conversation is because, when you're building this business, you got 100% understand and realize that you've got the deal. Like, you are at the right place at the right time. I just got the chills even saying that. Like, you've got to have total conviction, all out massive action mindset that this is the end all be all. Because here's what I can tell you. I'll give you some examples that even happened to me last night. But what I want you to understand about what Wayne Nugent and World Ventures has created with this fly card, like, we all got into this, or most of us, because of the travel, the fun, the freedom, the fulfillment of the opportunity. And I get that, but you got to adapt to change, because that's always going to be there. That's our end game. But what I can tell you guys, knowing what I know about this industry for being in it for 20 years, this fly card will not only change the network marketing industry, it's going to change all of direct sales and business over the next 5 to 7 or 8 years with what we're doing. I truly believe it's not a hype that we will surpass Amway in the next 36 months or less. And if you hear this, mark my words, put it in your calendar and go, because you're going to say Sunbits was right with what we're doing. And here's why. If we can be honest with each other for 1 minute, most people that join network marketing fail. It's a proven fact. We all know that a lot of people fail in network marketing. But what most people don't realize, and some of you cringe when I say that, and I told you I'm going to be honest, but the reality is it's not that the companies don't work, because there's millionaires in every network marketing company. The industry creates more millionaires than any other industry. The reason why people fail is because they have limited beliefs in their own abilities. They have self-doubts. They have fear of failure. They have fear of rejection. They have fear of what other people's opinions are going to think about them. And quite honestly, people want a better life, but most people are lazy, so they're not willing to do the work to go get something greater in life. So that's why people fail in network marketing. But here's what I can share with you. Those people that could fail, which is about 90-some% of the people that don't make full-time income in network marketing, for the first time ever, you can with World Ventures. That's the best part about our opportunity. And you ask why. Here's why. The fly card. Because you could be the most insecure, timid, fearful, doubt of, insecurity of your own limited beliefs, everything that I just lined up for you, and still make money with Will Ventures, because all you are going to have to do is turn on the light. It goes blink, blink. People see it and they want it. And you just have to send them an invite and share option from your phone. They're going to download it, and that person can get paid. So all the people that you care about, see, I was talking with someone earlier today about my goals and my dreams, and people go, why do you do what you do? And none of my goals, none of my dreams even talked about money. It talked about fulfilling other people's lives, giving them a vehicle to run in and drive, and a path to run on to change their life, their family's life, their lineage for years and decades to come. Like, my biggest motivation in life is freedom. It's not, making $10 million. Will we make that kind of money? It's probable with what we have in front of us, but that's not my main goal. My main goal is much further and greater than that. It's about freedom. It's about helping people live life on their terms. So when you're going to do meetings and presentations and all these different things, you got to start with the end in mind. So understand something. You got to first believe 100% down to the core of your being that this is the greatest opportunity and the most important time of your life. My entire team, from day one when they fill their app out, I don't treat them like a new person. I go, listen, the next 6 months, I don't know what you want to get out of this because we just met, but I know what you do the next 6 months will set you up for the rest of your life. Now, whether you want to do this spare time, part-time, or full-time, that's up to you. I don't care. All I want to know is you're going to commit the next 6 months at whatever you tell me today you're going to do, you're going to finish what you started. So I set the expectations because I don't need anybody. You don't need anybody. Now, when you're new, you're going, well, shit, I do need people. No, you don't, because people will follow strength, not weakness. You got to have a spine. Mark had taught me a long time ago, reach your finger around the back and you see a bumpy thing. That's called your spine. Everybody's got one. You got to use it. You got to be bold with what you do. And, when I first got started in this industry, I was young, like a lot of the Rat Pack. And so I didn't have a lot of self-belief in what I was doing. But you know what? I believed in my mentor. I believed in the system, and I sold the system, and I sold the belief in having, I rode those coattails of the leaders of the Lorenzo Royballs, the David Townsends, the Skylers, all the different people that you guys are running with. We just sold the value of what Mark brought to the table. Like, we sold him. We sold the system. We sold the opportunity. We got ourselves out of the way if I go back and think about what we're doing. So understand something. We started, with believe. You got to believe in where this thing is going, the timing of where this thing's going. Now, with all our new people, one thing I do is I obviously set the first goal is to help them all get one. I don't care about their 4, because if I help them get 1, they know how to go get 4 because they just got to go do it 3 more times. Our goal, we had one of the fastest growing teams in the company based upon how big our team was for getting people card qualified, and none of us even had a card because we sold the vision of where this is going, because we believed cold in our heart and soul that this was going to be the best thing out there since sliced bread. And here's why I believe that. Understand something. In network marketing, most companies go backwards, not forward, or they maintain where they're at. Here's what I mean by that. My first network marketing company, I sold products, hair care, nutrition, skincare, water filters, that kind of crap. And although we all wanted to buy biodegradable, earth-friendly, non-toxic stuff and all that kind of stuff and household products we all use and can't live without, it sounds great. But at the end of the day, more people fell out of the system than went into the system. We all get into network marketing because we want walk-away residual income. We can go get a sales job and make a one-time commission in any industry, guys. But the reason why people join multi-level marketing or network marketing is because they want passive walk-away residual income. And in most product-based companies, you don't have that. I couldn't take a week off and my income maintain and not dip at all in my other company. Then that was our first company. The next company was a service-based company. We sold, TV, internet, gas, electric, cell phone. Quite honestly, it made a lot of sense because everybody uses it, can't live without it. But what I also learned over time is that all those big shots in that company can never stop working because their team does what they do, and you still have a huge hole in your bucket because every time a contract's due, what do most people do? They switch to their competitor to get a new promotional deal. So there's really no true residual income in that type of company either. And what we focused on and what we learned about World Ventures when we first started is that you, as the representative, for the first time ever in a company, you control your residual income. What does that mean? See, in most companies, the customer controls your residual income, which is not something you want. You want to be in control of your destiny. See, what we learned about World Ventures was real simple. If I help everybody get their 4, nobody's going to quit a free travel program. Like, that was my selling point about joining World Ventures. I was like, you know what? If I help Skylar get his 4, and let's say he's a business owner, he's super busy, and for whatever reason he quits like most people do in network marketing, is he going to call World Ventures and cancel a free travel club? The answer is no. So for the first time ever, us as an independent distributor in a network marketing company, we control our residual income. That's what got me excited. And fast forward, we've shared it with 126 people. Now we got thousands. You know, you'd have to have $1.2 million in the bank to make enough interest off of that money compared like what we make in residual income in just 25 months of doing this thing. So that's the reason why we climbed as fast as we did, is because we understood that portion of it where we focused on helping everybody get their 1, eventually their 4. And it was all 4 for the first year and a half because there was no talk about a fly card. But then we started intertwining the fly card and getting as many people card qualified. And then we just focused on the 4. And then, of course, naturally, a couple of them went, they're 6, and now they're 10, and now they're just starting to build and grind with this thing. So that's the mindset you have to have going into this. Why do I tell you that about other companies? Because in order to move people to another direction, I already said it once, but people follow strength, not weakness. You have to have 100%, zero doubt that you're at the right company, in the right industry, at the right place at the right time, in order for people, 1, to follow you, but 2, for you to be able to get people to believe in you. And because in order to enroll people, you got to, A, believe in the system, believe in your leaders, and you got to have people believe in you that this is the right place at the right time, if that makes any sense. I normally never take notes, but I want to make sure I covered that for everybody. So, you know, that's one of the biggest things that we do, and we create a lot of urgency. You know, I was taught a long time ago, and sometimes it took me a while to hear it. Somebody cannot take a leader's their step unless a leader moves their step. Meaning, you can't take my position unless I move my foot out of the way for you to take my position. Does that make sense? Meaning, so many people try to be the deal in their business. You know, one thing that I did in the last probably 6 months that's really accelerated my business is instead of focusing on how many brand new people I could sign up, although that was a big concern of mine because that's how you grow in the business, what I did is I was willing to take a step back to take 10 steps forward, and I started creating presenters. I started creating leaders. I started getting people to believe in themselves, and I started telling people how great they were, and I started getting people to present a heck of a lot earlier than I normally would. And what I mean by that, I'll give you a couple examples. I got a buddy of mine who became a good friend of mine. I didn't know him 3 months ago, but Mike Masood, he's approaching senior rep. He's, making paychecks every single week. He's been in, I think, 4, 8, 12 weeks. He's got 7 paychecks already. He's got his fees waived, obviously. He went to the big training in Miami, but within 3 days, I had him presenting. And here's the thing. Was it the right thing or the wrong thing? You never know. But here's what I can tell you. A lot of people try to sharpen their axe and get their skill set dialed in. Like, if you can master their skill set, you can learn skill set all over time, but what you can't teach is feeling, gut, and intuition. And that comes with time. Here's what I mean by that. Let's take baseball for a minute. If you ever watch like a shortstop play baseball, what's cool about a baseball player is because they've been doing it for years and years and years and years, if you ever look at a position player, when the batter gets up to the plate, what they do is they get in their stance and then they start shifting one way to the other with the anticipation if they hit the ball where it might go. And the reason why I share that story with you is because that's intuition, that's feel, that's touch. You can't train on that, as far as you can't teach that. It comes with the territory of taking repetitions, or taking reps and reps and reps and reps and do-overs and strikeouts and hits and misses and just playing in the game. So one of the things that leads to is you got to get consistent with your business. You can't treat this like a hobby. One thing that we do is accountability with our team. If you're brand new, we all know that part-timers show 1 to 3 people a day and full-timers show 3 to 5 a day. What I challenge my team, like right now we're doing a 25-day blitz going into what's called a Go IMD, which is a leadership training. Every night we have a travel party. I've got my core group of people committed to creating a culture in Arizona where we are going to take over the market, and everybody that's not in our team is going to wish they were in our team because they see what badasses that we've created, and it's happening. And my team has bought into the culture. And I didn't start doing this today. I started doing this about 6 months ago, and it's starting to evolve today. And that's why I was able to go on an 8-day trip and the last 2 weeks cycle over 7 times, 2 weeks in a row, and literally do almost no meetings those 2 weeks, is because of the culture that we created. Because not everybody's building for themselves. They're building for our family, our Carpe Diem family. They didn't want to let me down. When I build, I don't want to let them down. And that's what created this culture. So what we do is, one is everybody's extremely consistent. They're bought into the path. They're bought into the system. They're bought into the next 5 to 6 months that'll set them up for the rest of their life. Like, they're all in on that desire, that vision, that path that we've created. But what's happening now is we go literally from event to event to event in packs. Like last night, we had 30 people at a travel party on a Sunday night. Tonight, I skipped out on our travel party, but I got my 2 leaders at a travel party, and they're like, I got you, because they know I was doing this call tonight. And I promise you, we'll have over 20 people at that travel party tonight. I got Mike Masood, who's been in for a couple months, scratching senior rep there. I got a guy, Nick Core. I've known Nick Core for 17 plus years. He started in World Ventures at the beginning of this year, in January. He's now he hit senior rep in 30 days. He hit director in 94 days. He's 75 close to marketing director. And literally, we've got leaders that are building this and taking peer ownership with this. Now, you might think that they're working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and I'm here to tell you they're not. What they're doing is they're working smart, but they're also working hard while working smart. See, it's not how many hours you work, it's what you do in the hours you're working. See, we set the stage to everybody that joins our team. If I sponsored you today and we did a quick start training, I would say, you know what, Skylar, our goal is to help you show 30 people fast. Here's what I mean by that. We sign up 4 to 6 out of every 10 people that join our business. With the smart, that was before the smart card. With the smart card, we sign up 7 to 8 out of 10. Now, I'm going to be conservative, and let's just say all we do is sign you up 30%, which is less than what we're doing now. In order to get 10 sales, because that's my goal with you, is to help you get 10 sales. The reason why is we need to get 10 different lines of business in position to order the fly card before it gets launched out to the members, because you want to 10x your growth in a very short period of time. The first goal is to get 1 sale. Second goal is to get 3 more, so you get your 4, so your fees are waived. The goal after that is to get 6, because it opens up every commission structure. But we want to get 10. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Most people will never get 10. And it's not that they can't. It's because they don't show enough people to get 10. Most people might only show 3 to 5 and 7 and 8. They'll get a couple, they'll get hit in the chin a little bit, and then they'll quit because it hurt really hard because they got a couple no's. So we're looking for people that understand they're going to get hit in the chin. You just got to be strong enough to get back up. And that's literally brand new people. We talk to them this way. And so they know the expectations. They know they're going to get no's. They know they're going to get yeses, but they're expecting it. See, most people dance around the fact of, oh my God, you might get a no. They think it's all, rainbows and sunshine and rainbows. And it's not the case. And we prep people from the beginning, but they also respect it. See, in baseball, we all know that, most professional athletes in the Major League Baseball only hit 3 out of 10 times, and they can make $3 to $5 million a year batting 300. That means they strike out 7 out of 10 times. So that means you're paid $3 to $5 million a year to hit the ball 3 times out of 10 and strike out 7 times out of 10. And if you had those averages in network marketing and world ventures, you would become an international marketing director. You just need to know that you got to go show 10,000 people between yourself and your team in a short period of time, because then you'll have 3,000 people in your team and you're an international marketing director. But here's what we know. This could happen in less than 6 months, definitely less than 12 months, based upon what you do over the next 90 days with this fly card. Because we all know, here's what we know. The average person uses their credit card or debit card 3 times a day, which is 90 times a month. So if I go out and get 100 people on a standby list that are all going to get the card, that's one thing. But if I can go help 10 people in my team sign up and get 100 people on a standby list, I know that there's going to be a conversion rate of 2 to 3% from people that buy the card that eventually buy the dream trip package. And if we set up the 10 people, here's what you got to realize. I don't want to go too long, but imagine if you started 0 left, 0 right now, tonight. And over the next 60 to 90 days, you go out and sponsor 10 new people. And you got 10 people that get the card. And the average person uses it 90 times a month. That's 900 times. Let's say it takes 2 months, 2 months for 10 people to get 10 sales. In 2 months, you just literally got to 100 people. And 2 months later, those 10 get their 10. You just got up to 1,000 within 4 months, right? And then in 2 months later, those 1,000 get there. Within 6 months, you're at 10,000. In less than a year, you're at 100,000 users doing that growth, right? Follow me on this. If all you did is get a 3% conversion rate, you're an international marketing director. That's the vision that we sell every single day. And that's the vision our team has bought into over the last 6 months. You know, Zoe and I committed to this January 1 that we are going to sell this fly card. The dream trips will be secondary. We are following suit with Byron Schrag. He has our best interest at hand, because when he makes money, we make money. And we just sold out. We changed our scripts. We changed our presentations. And literally within the last 6 months, we've had more people pop major ranks. Of course, we were able to, get our $100,000 lifetime earner ring. If you multiply what we made the last 90 days, we'll probably hit the 100K ring by the end of this year in a 1-year time frame. And I'm not telling you that to impress you, but really just to impress upon you that this system is dialed in for major champions to literally rise to the occasion with what we're doing. And you just really got to dig your heels in and get to work with this thing, because that's where we're at in this time of the company. We're selling the crap out of the Super Saturdays coming up. I know Denver's got one on Sunday. We're selling the crap out of the View. We have more people pre-registered for the View than we've ever had at a convention in my last 26 months of doing this. So we have more people pre-registered for the View, which is the most expensive event, than we've ever even had at an event. And we've already more than doubled our numbers from last year. See, Don Morton taught me a couple things months ago. Track your numbers from event to event to event. And that's what we started doing. And we started selling the crap out of the events. And when the more people got to the events, the more money we started making. And the last thing I'll tell you is this. And this is for people that have been around for a while. If you just started, don't ignore this or put it in your savings account mindset for later. But one thing Lorenzo started teaching me probably about 90 days ago, and now I talk about it on a daily basis, is if you're a marketing director or a director that's almost a marketing director, or you got one leg with a lot of spillover that's blown out and you're just building one leg, you should focus on triple cycling before Monday even starts. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Try to cycle once over the weekend, your second cycle by Tuesday, so that way you can triple cycle by Friday. See, if you cycle once over the weekend, you've got at least 3 people to work with, and then to help them each get their one by the Tuesday, you're at your second cycle. And then you got about 6 to 10 people, depending on what memberships they bought, to help them, a couple of them get one for you to triple cycle. And that's really what we started focusing on Now we're not focused on triple cycles because our team, if we fail by not triple cycling by Sunday, by Monday night over the last couple months, we've triple cycled before the week really even gets going. And now my team is starting to focus on that, where I have multiple people in my team starting the triple cycle. And now we've got a lot of people starting the cycle before Monday, couple cycles by Tuesday. They might miss it, go to Wednesday. So we're starting to break down the weeks into thirds, if you will. And so we tie all this together. I know it's a lot of information, and we started building this thing like a machine, and it just started taking off. So those are the biggest things that I wanted to cover. As far as the closing goes and enrolling, guys, a lot of people are scared of that terminology. And what we did is we really took it out of the mindset of closing and really just made it as you're an assisting in a decision. See, all the presentations, if everybody's using the same one of the last slides has a 1, 2, and 3 on it. We all know what that is. A 1, they want to be put on the list. 2, they want to get the card before the masses and take advantage of the membership. And 3, they want to get in before the masses. So what we've taught our team to do, like literally when we're done, I'll have my guy Greg and say, listen, go ask them if they're 1, 2, or 3. But before we do that, because we start with the end in mind, whenever we're inviting, we talk on how we have something big that we need to talk to them about. So we always use the word big. So at the end of a presentation, if I was showing Skylar for the first time, I would say, dude, I told you this was big. So I basically reaffirmed what I told him when I invited him to the meeting. I told you this was big. Based upon the information you saw, you heard Lorenzo do the presentation. Based upon that slide, where do you fit in? Are you a 1, 2, or 3? And then we just shut up and wait for them to respond. See, the cool part, if the presentation's done right, is they're closing for you, but you set up the close before the presentation because you said, I got something big I need to talk to you about. So now you can reconfirm, I told you this was something big. Well, you heard Lorenzo. He said 1 is and I almost played dumb. 1, you can be put on the list. 2, you can get a card before the masses, take advantage of the membership. And 3, you can be an affiliate and make money off the masses ordering. Where do you fit in? Well, I think I'm a 3. Awesome. High five. Welcome to the team. Are you going to be a basic, gold, or platinum? You know what I mean? And that's literally how my team got excited about enrolling people, because the pressure was not about them. They weren't saying yes or no to the opportunity based upon the inviter, meaning you bringing your friends down. My team really psychologically bought the fact that they're just literally being an assistant decision maker. Well, you heard the presenter. Are you a 1, 2, or 3? And if they say a 3 or 2 or a 3, say, great. We need to get you in the system tonight because we've got till Tuesday, which is about 36 hours or so, to where we can actually get you one of these beta cards. You would want one, wouldn't you? Yeah, well, great. All you got to do is sign up 1 gold or 1 platinum literally by tomorrow night at midnight Central Time, and you could order your card in the next 7 days so you could have one. Wouldn't that be amazing? It sure would. Great. Well, let's get you in the system so we can start showing your top 2 or 3 people tonight and get you in the system, because it's important for you to get the card, but it's even more important to help as many people in your team get the card, because there's a window of opportunity to where you're going to have the ability to get a beta card even before our members get in. So we tie that in to the close as well, and we create urgency. Obviously, we have a lot of excitement in our voice. People are more impressed by your enthusiasm instead of your knowledge, all that kind of stuff. Skylar, I don't want to take too long. I know I probably went about 5 minutes over, but that's literally what we're doing. I hope I said the things that, this is all from my heart, guys. I don't want to sugarcoat it. We wake up every day going to battle to fight for my family's freedom, my team's family freedom. A lot of times when you sign people up, that's when they think they scored, but really when you score is when you help people effectively change their life. And that's, my team knows when I sign them up that I'm all in and I'm going to battle for them just as much as I would for my own.
Absolutely. DJ, before I let you go, I have a couple quick questions. We have 75 people on the call. They're sticking around. They want to hear what you have to say. But for somebody who's been in network marketing for quite some time, what does your call look like after you go through the initial invite? Hey, send the picture. I got the scoop on some new technology. After we've got the invite, what is your conversation looking like? Because I know we have people on the call today that have maybe dibble and dabbled in network marketing, and they may have they think they've tarnished their reputation, or maybe people won't listen to them. What does that conversation look like so that people know that you're serious about this company?
So just to make sure I understand you, if I've been in network marketing for a while and people know, oh, here comes DJ with one of those deals, how do I handle my approach to them with the fly card and going back to my existing network? Is that really what you're asking me?
Yes, correct.
So when I first got joined in World Ventures 2 years ago, this is a real example. The fly card wasn't in play, but I was in another company. We hit in the top 1 or 2%, I would say, in our first 7.5 months. We are the face of that company as far as everybody knew. When that company name was heard in Denver, they knew I was a part of it because we really were all in. We planted our flag. But what started happening was a lot of my team members started to not make money, although we still were. And I saw writing on the wall where a lot of people were going to start to go backwards. And that's when Lorenzo and started talking, as we needed to figure out, I needed to find a lifeboat. And I did not sell anybody or pitch anybody to come with me when I left. I talked to a few people. They asked where I was going. But when I reached out to people that were either did not make it in another company, but they had talent, or friends of mine, I was very real and honest with people. I remember calling a lady named Carol, and she might even be on this. I have no idea. But I called her and I said, Carol, you're going to be shocked what the words that are going to come out of my mouth. But I'm stepping down from XYZ company. I just don't believe it's going to be the vehicle that's going to get you or me to the end game of this thing, which is walk away residual income. I found a company that I believe we can plant our flag, and this will be the last company we're ever a part of. And I said, you know what? I don't know if you want to do it. I don't know if you want to do it or not want to do it, but here's what I know. You got to give me 30 minutes of your time. I'm not going to try to explain it to you. I'm not going to sell it to you. If you ask me a question, I'm not going to answer it. But I hope I have enough respect with you to where you can go look at something for 30 minutes and make a decision. And I'm going to hook you up with one of the top guys in the company that I partnered up with. And in 30 minutes, I'm just going to ask you if you see an opportunity for you to run with me and finish what we started. And if the answer is no, I'm going to respect your decision. But all I ask is you give me 30 minutes so that way you can make an intelligent decision one way or the other. That was my conversation, and we put in 26 people in about 3 weeks. But I called about 50, and I had some people that hung up on me because they were pissed off that I left. There's people that said no thanks, but no thanks for thinking of me. And there's people, obviously a lot of them said yes, and here we are today. But I was extremely honest, and if I were to do it today, I'll fast forward and play the what if game. If I were to do that today, and there's people actually I could call today and do this with, so thanks for the question, because now I have another way of doing it. But the reality is I would have that same conversation saying, listen, I know we worked together 25 months ago, and at the time you were, there was a lot of emotions because they were fresh. Kind of like if you break up with a girlfriend, it hurts then. 2 years later, you're probably out. You're pretty good by now, right? Time heals all. I'll say, you know what? I've been thinking about you for 2 years, and I've been a little hesitant to call you because I know that you had some bad taste in your mouth. So I'll confront the issue, but I'll say, listen, I've grown up a lot in the last 25 months. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure you have too. And I've been keeping an eye on you on Facebook. But I don't know if I could sleep well at night anymore if I didn't explain to you what's happening. I go, I'm going to send you a picture of the card. I want you to take a look at this and tell me if you've seen this before you say anything else. Hold on a minute. I would probably send them a text, and I'll ask them, have you seen this? They're going to say no. I'll say, you and I both know that I've been in network marketing for 20 years, and I've never been more excited my entire life. And you and I both know most people don't make it to the top levels of the company, but I believe everybody that signs up, if they follow through with what they say they're going to, they will with this opportunity. You've got to give me 17 minutes to take a look at this. If you look at it and 17 minutes later, you tell me to go fly a kite, I'll go fly a kite. But if you got interest, I'll share with you what we've done with this thing over the last 25 months to be able to make a 6-figure income, and we're just getting started. And I would hate to leave you behind. That's what I would say.
Wow, that is pure gold, DJ. I even think people that haven't been in network marketing can get a lot of value from what you just said, and hopefully everybody paying attention right now to his posture. He means what he says, and he says what he means. And I think that's something that all of us can take from. And I appreciate you setting that example in this company, because there are a lot of leaders, and you're a hot leader on the rise. And when you talk like that, it just reassures that, look, we're not crazy for believing in this concept. And we're watching you pace through that beautiful house of yours. You didn't get that by chance. You got that by building companies like this. And I think that's absolutely amazing. One of the last things I would like to ask you is, when you are in the prospecting mode, let's say you're deciding you want to start a new team, how much time are you spending on cold market? Because at the end of the day, some people think that cold market is the way to go. What is it like to grab onto one person, and what can you do through a line of maybe a handful of people? And what does that look like so that people in this call can maybe get something moving with some team members?
No, good question. So if I think about it off the top of my head, I would probably say 80% of my success came from somebody I knew, who they knew, who they knew, who they knew, through a warm or hot lead of market, if you will. Okay. Now, some are hotter than others, but they knew me. I knew them. They were in my cell phone. If I called, they would say, "Hey, DJ." That's how 80% of our business was built. But as far as cold market goes, it's not. Here's the best way of looking at it. If you're out fishing in a boat and you've got a license to have 5 or 6 lines in the water, you have 5 or 6 lines in the water, but you've got a couple lines of really good lures, right? And the good lures catch most of the fish, but you're going to throw a couple different baits out there just to see if you get lucky. And to me, cold market is just to see if you get lucky. And that's all I can tell you. But here's what I will tell you. I got my fly card at the end of June, roughly the 26th or 27th of June. The first place I went to go use my card, the guy saw the card. He was fixing my windshield. I pulled the card out and started blinking. He said, "What the hell is that?" And it was my first ever pulling my card out. I gave him a little 30-second spiel. At the end of it, he said, "How can I market that for you?" I said, "Well, I can't guarantee anything, but give me your information, and I'll call you in a couple days, and we'll get together. And if it makes sense and you qualify, you can maybe market for us." So I do a huge takeaway when I do things, because that way they know I don't need them at all, okay? Fast forward, his name is Jake Archuleta. You'll meet him someday. Within 2 weeks, he had his fees waived. But that was a cold market. I didn't go after him like to a mall and start networking and being like a pretend buyer and recruit the cashier like a lot of old network marketers. Sorry about that. You guys still see me? There we go. Sorry. Am I back? All right. So can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right, cool. So I don't do the old approach in network marketing. I just use the card as the care. You know, when I was in San Diego last week, I had 5 people's names and phone numbers. 2 of them are in the midst of signing up. You know, when I was on the cruise, a guy asked me what I did for a living. I showed him the card and I said, we're launching a new technology. It's about to go viral. It's going to change the way the payment system's done. And he owns one of the largest nonprofits in California with 33,000 donors. He's getting on board. He's going to see Wayne on August 17th in California. You know, I rarely do this, but I was at a blackjack table on the cruise killing time, and I pulled out the card on the table, and the lady next to me, while they were shuffling, I said, "Hey, have you seen this before?" And she dropped her glass and said, "What is that?" And I explained to her. Now her husband's watching the video as we speak in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So he's just recently retired from the military. But he's excited about it. We talked on the cruise for a couple days. That's how I cold market, but I don't go after it. It happens naturally. I would get the fear BS out of your way. The only reason you're cold marketing is you're afraid to talk to your warm market you don't believe yet. And if that's the case, quit. Get out of this business. Because if you don't believe in this now, you're never going to. And that's all I would honestly tell you or any of my team members. It's like, you have to go after your chicken list. You know, when we do a quick start training, I go, listen, our friends are our friends. Write those people down. We'll show them. Some will say yes, some won't. Most of your friends probably don't get this because they have a job. They work 9 to 5 and they live hand to mouth and they're working paycheck to paycheck. There'll be a few of them that get it. So don't get caught up on that. But if you and I are starting an NFL football team and we're gonna recruit college athletes. We don't go after the duds. We go after the studs. So I want you to write a list of your top 10, 20, 30 people that make more money than you, that outwork you, that are professional, that are business owners, that understand the value of multiple streams of revenue. They understand the value of timing. People that if you put them on a scale of 1 to 10, they're a 10, 9, 8, and 7. I want to go after those people. And if you're scared to talk to them, give me their number. I'll reference you and I'll call them for you. But those are the people that will get you to the top level of this company. Your friends will get in because they don't want to be left behind. But the people that will drive this thing to excellence with you are those 10s, 9, 8s, and 7s. You know, I recruited a guy literally 3 weeks ago. He was on my chicken list. I got him in the business. He owns a business. He makes about $500,000 a year. He referred me to another guy who was a professional athlete. We'll leave his name out for now, but he signed up his son. Now his son is going through the father's database of professional athletes, and we text billionaires today, guys that are worth $500 million we're going after. Those are people's chicken list, but guess what? That's where you're going to get wealthy in network marketing. See, a lot of people say, oh, my friends think it's a scam, it's a pyramid, and I tell them your friends are idiots. That's why they are where they're at. See, with the people I recruit, don't give me those objections because they're smart. They understand business. We wouldn't be $1 billion company if we were a pyramid or a scam. Like, you got to have an IQ test. If someone says that to me, I don't even want to work with them. You know, yet last night, I'll end it with this. We had a guy said, wow, this looks good, but I feel like it's almost like a scam. And I said, you know what the scam is? Is you're excited right now. And you're going to tell me you're going to do big things. And then a week from now, I'm going to have a hard time getting a hold of you. And you lied to me and told me how great you're going to be. And that's the scam of this. And I flipped the entire conversation on him. And guess what? He signed up last night. And I did it not to get him because I really didn't want to sign him up. I did it because I wanted to prove a point that we didn't need him. He needs us. And he signed up. And he might be listening. If he is, he knows who he is. But that's the truth of the matter, is that's the kind of posture that we have. And I want everybody to win at this. But it's like, when you trash talk my child, I'm going to slap you in the face. And that's how I feel about this business. That's how I feel about this industry and the timing of the company. Like, we have got the best opportunity in the world, guys. I can't tell you how, I don't even know how to express it any more than what I've shared with you. But I take it dead serious. And you know, you got to realize we wouldn't be in 35 countries doing $1 billion in sales, partnered up with a company that does, you know, biometrics for the Pentagon, partnered up with Disney and all the airlines and all the travel industries. We're governed by the DSA. We're in the top 25 around the world. We're publicized. I mean, that right there has got to be a huge IQ radar test that we have the best opportunity in the world. And it's not their fault when they're ignorant. There's a difference between ignorant and stupidity. And that guy was obviously ignorant. But at the end of the day, it's like, you got to understand, don't let people shake you up a little bit. Like, you have to control the deal, control what we've.
DJ, we lost you there. We didn't catch that last little sentence there.
Bottom line is, you just got to know you got the deal.
All right. Well, I don't know if anybody can see my screen now, but I got notes, guys. I've been taking notes this whole entire time. DJ, thank you so much for taking time out of your night, time away from your family, time away from your team to be able to, you know, hop on board and give us value tonight. Guys, I'm just blessed and humbled to know this man, and I'm really excited to ride to the top with him, and we all know that you can do it too. So thank you, DJ, so much, brother. I'll see you on stage at The View.
All right, guys. Talk to you later, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks, DJ. DJ's out, guys. Awesome, guys. DJ Barton, if you're wondering who he was, he will be a trainer for our company. All right, guys. God bless. Have a good night. Skylar Schisler signing off.